Good morning, everybody. It's like only 8 o'clock in the morning and it's so sunny in my garden. So I wanted to do an assembly today. I wasn't actually sure what I wanted it to be about initially, and I have not slept in days because I've been pondering what the assembly could be about and how I was going to communicate it across effectively based on what I decided I wanted to talk about. The last time I kind of did an assembly, it was about gratitude, and for me that's something that is very important to me. But this time I want to talk to you about what prejudice and discrimination means. The reason being because there's been a very incomprehensible, which means something that you can't really believe has happened in America, where unfortunately a person has lost their life. And although I don't want to go into the ins and outs of that event, because if you've had the TV on in your home you would have come across it already, however, what I want to talk to you about is how we need to treat everybody with love and respect and kindness. So I'm going to start by thinking about what prejudice means. So prejudice is when a person has, or people have, a view on another person or group of people that is unreasonable and unjustified and irrational, based on something like the colour of their skin, their gender, their religion, their culture, or even the people that they choose to love. And prejudice is the feeling and the belief that person has towards them. And obviously you can't have a generalized view about people based on something like just the color of their skin, you know, and it's often a negative belief that person will have. Now this differs from discrimination, because discrimination is when a person has that feeling about a particular person or group of people and then treats those people differently because of that. Now, I'll give you an example that's happened in the UK recently. When the coronavirus outbreak happened, it was completely publicised on the news that because of where the belief was, where the coronavirus started in the world, people were treating those people in this country who they thought could be from that particular country in a completely disgusting way, you know, moving away from them, hurling abuse at them, all sorts of terrible things. And that's discrimination, when you have a viewpoint about somebody and then you act outwardly towards them and treat them in a different way. Now, prejudice and discrimination has gone on for many years, not recent years, you know, hundreds of years, where people believe that other people were inferior to another group of people. Often it's when there's a white person that, you know, such as myself, that believes that another person, because they might be black or Asian or Oriental or wherever they're from in the world, that they believe that they are not as good as somebody that's white, or that they don't deserve the same rights as people that are white. Now, obviously, this is completely unacceptable, because we are all significant, we are all important, and I'm using the word significant because that's Reception's concept focus for this coming half term, and it's our last half term of the year. Now, it doesn't matter what the colour of our skin is, it doesn't make any difference at all, and it's about ensuring that we live in a society and we have a viewpoint where we might recognise that somebody is from a different country than where we're from, but we see that they are from a different country and we want to know more about them, we want to know about their culture and their traditions, and we show them love and respect rather than having a negative viewpoint towards them. Now, the saddest thing for me, well, there's many sad things about what's happened recently in America. It's about the fact that so many people across the world, including in this country, but in America it's been very publicised, which means it's on the news. There are young people that are your age, and that can be of all ages, from reception all the way, you know, all the way up, where they live in fear of how they are going to be treated because of the colour of their skin, because they feel unsafe to go out onto the streets, and they feel unsafe because not only how people, the general public, treat them and the opinions they have of them, but the people that should protect them in this world, you know, police officers and such, they don't feel protected by them in you know. And this isn't everybody, but there is a very strong feeling of this, and it's very sad. And you know, we're very fortunate in this country, but however, this still goes on in this country too. And when I was thinking about my gratitude, I was thinking about the fact that, you know, I am grateful that I can live a life that is very free in the vast majority of the sense of the word. However, for so many people that's not true. Now, some people might know this about me because I certainly always wear it, my Star of David, because my ancestors were Jewish, and they were Polish Jewish, and that follows down the female line, so in theory I'm Jewish too. And so last year my mum and I went to visit Auschwitz, which is the concentration camp in Poland, in Krakow, and for me that's the closest I've ever experienced to what it must be like for somebody that is treated differently simply because of either the colour of their skin or their race. And I just want us to think about that, because when we go out into society, when you're walking around in Bexleyheath, there are people in our school, people in the community that are from a vast array of countries across the globe. They practice many different religions that are all beautiful in their own right. They have traditions and cultures from the countries that they are from that are interesting and intriguing and exciting, and they amaze me, and I'm so open to learning more about that. And I think that's really key, because we need to make sure that when we look at people, we look at them and we think, I want to know more about you, not, oh, I think that there's going to be something different because your skin colour is different from mine. And a lot of people's perceptions of that is because people are frightened of different. But I wanted to use this assembly to say to you that we were all created to be one family, and that we aren't different. We're all connected. We all need to love and respect and honour each other and see the significance, the importance in each other. Now, I wanted to read you a quote just to finish, but I think this is something that maybe more so you could talk at home, because for me, I think I'd like to finish this assembly after the quote, is that you take a moment to think how your life would be if you lived in fear because of the colour of your skin, because of the country that you're from, and that you've done nothing wrong at all, simply just to be born with that colour skin, and how people across the globe are being treated because of that. And unfortunately, for years upon years, people have been fighting to ensure that people are all treated equally, equality being one of our values, kindness and respect, that people are not being treated equally still, all these many, many years later. So for me, I want you to think about, bear with me 1 second, because technology has not been in my favour just right now. My apologies. So it is vital that when educating our children's brains, that we do not neglect to educate their hearts. And that's from the Dalai Lama. And I think that in a situation like this, we have to think about what our heart and what our gut is saying to us. And if we're out and in our day-to-day lives and we see something that is not okay, and someone is not being treated in a way that's okay, it's us recognising that that's not okay, and not being, you know, a bystander. So if we're in school and we hear somebody say something unpleasant towards another friend because of the colour of their skin, or maybe their religion, or whatever it could be, that we stand up and we say that's not okay. And that's something that I know reception will know in school, that we teach, you know, stop, I don't like that, that's not okay. And being comfortable to say that that's not an acceptable way to behave and that's not an acceptable view to have, because we are all significant and we all deserve love and respect. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope that this has given you food for thought. Enjoy the sunshine, look after yourselves, and hopefully I get to see you all soon.